Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? It's your boy Devo, some motivational back with another day trading spy recap. Again, I want to say thank you all for all the likes, the comments, subscribes. Thank you guys for all the views. Thank you guys for everything I do for me. Thank you guys for following with me through the journey, okay? And so today won't be very long. We did have a trade today, but we're just gonna go over what's going on in the market, what data we have coming out, the earnings we have coming out today, and tomorrow might be another exciting day where tomorrow we might actually have a trade, and we'll see. We'll see what goes on in the market. We're not forcing trades. We're just looking at the market. We're seeing if our strategy pops up. If we don't see our strategy, if we don't see our pullbacks into our fair value gaps, we don't hop in. Okay, so that's just recently what's kind of been happening these past couple of days, and so we haven't been trading, right? And so that is the thing. If the market doesn't provide you with your strategy or give you your pullbacks or give you good entries, then you don't take a trade because we don't force trades. We always want to wait for our edge in the market, okay? And so again, I just thank you guys for everything y'all do for me. Thank you guys for following the journey, okay? And let's get straight into it. So as we know, today when the market closes, we have Nvidia earnings, and that is going to be very big. That is going to be very big for. Let me refresh it real quick. That is going to be very big for the market if earnings come out as estimates. Um, if earnings come out as estimate, that will be very. Excuse me, give me a second. If earnings come out as estimate, that could actually dump the market. I think the market kind of wants Nvidia to beat the estimate earnings, but I see happening is if Nvidia meets estimates, like just meets it or doesn't meet estimates, I see the market actually getting a little bit of a dump. If Nvidia like actually blows out earnings, we could possibly get a bit of a pump, okay? And actually today we were actually running up in the pre-markets. We actually ran up from oh man, I ain't gonna move it. So yeah, we actually ran up because we ended the day yesterday off at 590, and pre-markets we started off SPY at around 591, right? And so we were actually getting kind of close, and when we opened the market we ran up to 592, close to that heavy support line, right? Close to this heavy support area, I mean resistance area, sorry about that. And we didn't trade today. Why didn't we trade? Well, when it opened up, so I was seeing this, right? This kind of looked like a little bit of a range. If we let's mark it out real quick, we do see a bit of a range. Look at this right here. That actually, as we can see, we have like equal highs, equal lows, right? Boom, 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 boom. As you see, it's like a little bit of a range. Came up, swept this range, came back in, and it kind of just ranged from about 11:30 yesterday to the end of the market closed about 3 o'clock. So we see like it was like a heavy range at the end of the day, and then actually when the market opened, what did it do? It gave us a manipulation up, and then started to distribute down a little bit, right? And so that's all it kind of was to open the day. But why didn't I get in at this downtrend? Because as you know, I mean, 592 down to around 589, that's still good money to be made, right? Why didn't I? Well, I didn't have my pullback into my 5 minute fair value gap. Okay? I didn't have a pullback into my gap. But as I was looking at price more a little bit earlier, I was seeing that they did give a little bit of a pullback, but not the pullback I wanted, right? Because look, we had this huge gap right here, right? We broke this swing, and whenever we were breaking down, I was like, okay, that actually does look like an accumulation, manipulation, distribution phase. But it's not such a heavy manipulate. I mean, such a distribution. Again, yesterday, remember I was telling you guys that I felt like today was going to be a little bit of a rangier day because we were going to be waiting on earnings as well as FOMC minutes, which are coming out, I believe, at 12 or 1 o'clock. But we'll look at it right now, okay? And so that's what I said I could see happening was a little bit of a range today because we're waiting on the economic data that we have coming as well as Nvidia earnings, which are going to be very big for the market, okay? And so we have this gap right here. I wanted to pull back into there, and if we see we pull into our 5 minute, we have this gap We have a gap right here. We could have wicked into, right? And we didn't get that, right? And that's what we wanted. So this whole area right here was kind of like our 5 minute, and I wanted to wick into this fair value gap of my 1 minute, but we didn't get that. What did we get? We did get a bit of a pullback. Where did we get it at? Well, as we see, we know when price wants to break that swing, it can give a pullback to the bottom of our last low, right? So when price so if price is changing character, right, it could do this, it could break down and then come back and just test the low, right? Just test that low and then continue breaking down. And that's exactly what it did. It broke up, and then when it broke back down, I'm trying to think of the word. When it broke back down, giving a change of character, breaking this last low, all it did was come up and retest this low. But that was kind of just a retracing. Look, you see it's just one candle, two candles. So it wasn't really much of a pullback, right? And then it was really just a choppy drop. As you can see, look, chop, 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 chop. Just a choppy drop. And so I wasn't comfortable with that at all, comfortable with that entry at all. I wanted to fill this because, as we see, this is a pretty big, 5 minute candle downwards. So I wanted to see us come up and fill this area. We didn't come fill that area, and so that is why we didn't have a trade. As well, you can see it was just chopping down, right? So it's not really just, there's money to be made in this chop down, but it's a little iffy, right? Because the market again is undecided and just kind of giving range to see what it wants to do tomorrow. Well, what it wants to do when these earnings come out, okay? And so what data do we have coming out today? Today's data we have coming out, we had Fed services, index, revenues index, purchase index, all that stuff. Let's refresh this data so it can come out. So we did get some data, 17-week bill auction and stuff like that. So, I mean, all of it was probably pretty much on it, right? But the big one that is going to be important is FOMC minutes, which comes out at 1. That is going to be the big one that comes, FOMC minutes, and then as well, again, as NVIDIA earnings, which those two things are really going to move the market, okay? And so not much really happened. We don't have much news coming out. We just have the FOMC minutes and these NVIDIA earnings, which can be very big for the market. Let's see if we have anything coming out Thursday. Okay, so I think after NVIDIA, that is pretty much our, I think after NVIDIA, that is our last big tech. That is our last big tech company, to come out with earnings, okay? So that is going to be very important. Again, keep saying it, but that's going to be very big, very important. We don't have no more earnings on in the week. And so NVIDIA's earnings as well as FOMC minutes, because tomorrow tomorrow we're going to have initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, core PCE prices, GDP sales, jobless claims 4-week average, pending home sales. So tomorrow is going to be a big data one. Fed balance sheet, Fed daily speech. So tomorrow will be a big data-driven day as well. So we will have a lot of volatility tomorrow, but based on FOMC minutes today and the earnings today is what will bring into pre-markets tomorrow. And then if tomorrow's data is bad or good, we'll see how they like to play out. So tomorrow we could have a big trading day with a lot of volatility I can see coming. These past 2 days, I mean, we did have a run up yesterday, but again, no entries. It was just running up, and then today, no entry again, and then it kind of chopped down, and now it's just chopping to the sideways as well as yesterday, how after that run up, we just had a lot of chop, okay? And so that is pretty much it. You guys know, even if I don't have a trade, I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to show you what I see happening in the charts. I'm going to tell you guys why I didn't trade. I'm still going to show you guys the data we have coming out, the news that we have coming out. Trump hasn't really said anything. We don't have no big news that's coming out. We have big data that's coming out, but we don't have like no news that's coming out. And so that is pretty much it. We're going to be looking at the earnings today and then FOMC minutes to see what is going on in the markets, which is going to move it a little later. Around 1 o'clock, we'll see how that moves the market with FOMC minutes. And then when market closes, NVIDIA is going to move these markets. So we'll see how that reacts. And then tomorrow, we'll be showing back up to the markets, going over, looking at the data, and seeing what that data is doing to the markets, and we'll see if we can get a trade going. Okay. Not too long of a video. I've been better with keeping the videos short. Still getting the information out for you guys. I'm not just making them short just so I can hurry up and leave. You know, it's just not really too much is going on. I don't have a trade, so it's like I'm not really breaking down my trade or anything. So that's why the videos are a little shorter. But I'm still making sure to give you guys all the information that I'm seeing in the markets and what is going on in the markets. Okay. Um, so tomorrow can be a big volatile day. Tomorrow can be a big trading day. We're looking forward to it. Right now, we're sitting back, protecting our capital because remember, we don't see a trade. If we don't see our setup, we don't take a trade, right? Because we're not gambling. We wait for our edge, okay? Remember, I love every single one of y'all who are with me on the journey. Remember, this is a journey, a marathon, not a sprint. I love every single one of y'all who are with me. And remember, guys, stay persistent, passionate, and make sure I get paid, all right? Peace.